What we have here is a blood alcohol meter. I do this every day, first thing when I wake up, see where I am. And then throughout the day, I'll do it multiple times because the way Auto-Brewery syndrome will sneak up on you, I want to know it as soon as possible. Right now it says 0.00 because I'm not experiencing a bad flare. If it gets too high, 0.25 or something ridiculous like that, it's emergency room time. This has been a lifesaver for me because otherwise I might very well go out on my farm, fire up a chainsaw thinking I'm going to cut firewood, not knowing that I already had a BAC brewing. It is a lifesaver.
Joining us is Hal and Ray's doctor. He's treated both of them, Dr. Wick, who's an expert in this. Dr. Wick, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, sir.
How do you go about diagnosing this syndrome?
We test them when their blood alcohol level and breathalyzer alcohol levels are 0, give them a large dose of sugar, glucose to drink, and then collect their blood alcohol levels and blood sugar levels at time intervals in half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, and 8 hours. If at any period of this time the blood alcohol goes up at all, then we have to assume that the patient has Auto-Brewery syndrome.
So how underdiagnosed do you think this syndrome is?
I think to diagnose any condition, Phil, you have to first consider it in your differential diagnosis. If you don't think of a diagnosis, you will not make it. And lots of people have not seen a patient with Auto-Brewery syndrome, or they may have seen somebody and not made the connection.
Well, Dr. Kanodia is also joining us virtually, and he has worked with both Hal and Ray as well, and he says that he has since learned new practices to treat Auto-Brewery syndrome. So, Dr. Kanodia, thank you for joining us as well.
You're welcome.
How long have you been treating ABS patients, and with what degree of success?
You know, we've been treating it for about 7 years, about 50 or 60 people all around the world. And, 80% of people get better that we see. And it's an ever evolving science. And because we want these people to get their life back.
What practices have you changed in ABS patients since treating Hal? Is there something new that can be employed?
A lot has changed. One of the things we're finding out is this the limbic system. It's like the body's in a fight or flight mode. And it's in survival mode where nothing's going to work. No medication, no supplement, no nutrition. The things that Hal said, probiotics, those things are not going to work because the body's attacking it all. So once you get it out of the fight or flight mode, then the other things may work. So then you can start activating healing, like the IV nutritions. And we're finding that most of our patients with Auto-Brewery syndrome don't have the energy to heal. They've been drunk for so long, like Hal and Ray, that the body doesn't have that oomph. And so when you give high doses of oxygen via IVs and those things, the body heals much quicker.
Well, that sounds encouraging. I mean, are these things that you think would help Ray and Hal?
I do, and I want to help them. And I'll be glad to help them any way I can at no cost, because this is just horrible what they have gone through.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.